your decks. Ooh, double Watery Grave. This hand's like very good if one of these is a white source. This hand's very good because we have a white source. I could see putting back either Force of Negation or Prismatic Ending here. Let's put back the Force of Negation, I think, because if they are casting non-creature spells, maybe Esper Sentinel just punishes those. Kai's Gal feels better than the fourth Vindicate. Well, the fourth Vindicate is like, I'm bringing these in against, you know, land destruction next, so I'm glad I put back the fours. Speak of the humans matchup. Speak of the humans matchup. So I might end up pathing my own Esper Sentinel this turn. Although that means I don't have Godless Shrine in my deck. Squeed, thank you for 20-month resubscription. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, I'm not recording this right now for CFB. I'm just practicing to make sure I have a good list to record with. Yikes. Live by the Esper Sentinel, die by the Esper Sentinel, I guess. I think I'm gonna be recording off stream for my first one. We'll see how it goes, but it's gonna be my first channel Fireball video, so I want it to be, you know, good. I want to be just focused on it. But we'll see as time goes on if I'll be more comfortable recording on stream. But also if I'm recording on stream, the stream's quality drops too, right? Because I'm not able to interact with chat. I'm not able to talk about things with you guys, which is something I really enjoy doing, and also I do think makes the stream better when I'm able to do that. And so if I'm not able to do that, can't quite Snapcaster Prismatic Ending for one here. What's happened with the hair? You're talking about the pink hair dye? Esther is planning on dyeing it tonight off when she gets off work. No debate, but it also might not happen tonight depending on how busy we are. But we'll do it at some point. Yeah, there will be no debate, but it just might be a wait. I also have a cousin in town who I haven't seen in like 3 years or something like that, and an uncle, and I might be seeing them with pink hair. Yeah. I've been told the MH2 print run will be massive, or at least like I've just seen people say that, I guess. How do you feel about Esper versus Blue-White, Stoneblade, Teferi, and Subtlety main deck? I don't like Subtlety main deck. I've been playing Subtlety main deck. I think it just kind of sucks in the main deck. I think it might be a good sideboard card. And we're kind of testing it out as that here. And this is Blue-White Stoneblade with a light black splash, and I think Dakkon and Vindicate are worth splashing for. Dakkon specifically has felt like just like a very, very good card to me. I think I will bring in the subtleties here. You can play one Teferi, you can play one Typhoon, you can play the Feast and Famine. Max Holland, thanks for your Twitch Prime subscription, buddy. I think I only want 3 equipments though. Let me play the Shark, just one Shark. I mean, the counterspells aren't that good either, but they are okay if they don't have Cavern. Let's mulligan this hand. Keep this one. Put back Scalding Tarn, I think. Yeah, let's put back Scalding Tarn and just, you know, not commit. I will not path Champion or Hierarch on turn 1. Yeah, we can Vindicate with Cavern, that's true. I don't know if about a great answer, but an answer. So I think I'm getting Batterskull. Again, I think you tend to want to get Batterskull when you're going to be more offensive, and Kaldra if you're a bit more defensive. Think it'd be worth it for Esper away with Yorion? I don't know. I just haven't really liked Yorion in like too many fair decks lately. I feel like it just diminishes the consistency a lot. I think it's also very true that fair decks in Modern rely super hard on their sideboard to give them matchups, give them game in their bad matchups. And if you play Yorion, your sideboard sucks. So they have another 1-drop in their hand. Jeez. Hey, Spiked, and I knew you were streaming. This is actually pre-recorded, but glad that you're able to watch the VOD. Thanks, Luke. Esper Sentinel is just crushing us here. That card is terrifying. No, I'm not streaming from my phone anymore. I have a 5G hotspot plan. I'm excited about it. They're probably getting Lieutenant, right? How'd the first league? We were 4-1 first league. Lost to Team of Rhinos, and then think about playing Test of Talents on the sideboard. Maybe 2 is too many. Maybe we should be playing like the 4th path over the 2nd to just play 1. But that's against the Living End and the Rhino decks. Get a Kite Sail Freebooter. Wait, oh no! They can activate Kite Sail Freebooter in response to my Stoneforge. They get Violet in. So we can't Stoneforge right now yet. Yeah, good play, opponent. I tend to bring very flexible cards like Vindicate to the main deck, maybe cutting 1 situational cards. Opposite of what you do. Well, I'm not necessarily viewing Vindicate as being... I mean, it is a good flexible main deck card, but you'll also see like our mana curve is like... It would be really bad, I think, if we just like... We already have 11 3-drops. You know, maybe you say you have 8s because of Force of Negation, 7. Like, these are more flexible. This is maybe more of a 5-drop. But we have a lot of 3-drops, so playing more Vindicates is not free. And then I'm mostly viewing Vindicate as like a very effective sideboard card against big mana decks that I can also bring in any other matchup. Dakkon seems a bit weird in the deck. How so? Dakkon puts your Kaldras and Batterskulls into play. And Dakkon's also just like a very powerful 3-mana Planeswalker. But, you know, everyone keeps complaining, if you Kaldra, you're going to have no way to get your Kaldra into play if they kill your Stoneforge Mystic. But Dakkon lets you put Kaldra into play. So they will get to draw a card off the Esper Sentinel here, or one of the Esper Sentinels at least. But we will also get to put Batterskull into play at least. This matchup seems poor. Why did you let the Freebooter's ability resolve? It is exactly the same if I do it that way or this way, because they're going to take the Batterskull from the... I mean, I would rather them take Path to Exile than Batterskull because I don't want to let them draw a card off of Esper Sentinel. But they're going to take the Batterskull there, so we want to, you know, make them do that. This is a great draw. We want to make them do that and then path it afterwards. So and before the Stoneforge ability resolves, so we can still put the Batterskull into play. Yeah, you get to, yeah. If you path Kitesail Freebooter, they still get to see your hand. Yes, they still get to see your hand. That was such a good draw, the Sword of Fire Ice. Yeah, maybe the best draw. I think it was. Kaldra would have been fine too. Yeah, now top deck Kaldra. Easy. Doesn't it feel like a Stoneblade kind of tempo card on the surface? Well, stop thinking of... I would recommend stop thinking of this kind of deck like a tempo deck. You know, tempo doesn't really mean anything. They can't Reflector Mage my Germ because of the Sword of Fire Ice. Like, every deck is a tempo deck. Like, our opponent's deck is a tempo deck. They're trying to get ahead on board, stay ahead on board. We're trying to answer our opponent's threats and resolve, you know, get a big equipment creature as well, you know? You know, I would not try to think about Stoneblade being like a protect the creature at all costs kind of Delver style strategy. Can I explain the Cascade into adventure cards? I guess I'm not sure what the confusion on those is, but it works. You can cast. You can. If the mana value of the adventure card is less than the Cascade, you can cast either the adventure or the creature. Got a Phantasmal Image. It's pretty good. So Dakkon has a lot of loyalty. I think I like exiling the Sanctum Prelate with Dakkon so they don't have the option to triple block my Germ. Or we could exile the Thalia's Lieutenant. That way they can't copy the Lieutenant, but they can copy the Recruiter and get another Lieutenant, which they'll probably just do anyways. So let's exile the Prelate. And they do have to chump block this. Oh, they do. I guess they can chump block with the Hierarch, which is fine. I made second a challenge with take on Tina Raz. That's cool. What were your changes to the deck? How's Dakkon's been really good. Dakkon's been really good. I kind of want to play a third Dakkon over the second Jace, but the 2-2 split's fine too. But I've been liking Dakkon a lot. This has maybe been my favorite deck to play with all the MH2 decks so far, but I've been liking everything too. So they're going to Phantasmal Image. Copy probably Recruiter. Then Recruiter for the 4th Recruiter. Then Recruiter for Thalia's Lieutenant. Cast Thalia's Lieutenant. Mana base and sideboard, yeah. I agree that the mana base needs changes. Third Dakkon for the 4th Vindicate. I think I don't know that I necessarily would like to sideboard in Dakkon, maybe. But I also like having access to 4 Vindicate against big mana decks, right? Five the Color Zoo. I finished the league off stream. We were 3-1 on stream, and then I somehow beat Titan off stream as my 4th match, but that matchup seems bad. Like unwinnable. So if they attack with their 6/6 Thalia's Lieutenants, should be block. If we draw a land, we could just double equip onto Stoneforge. And then this also like lets us minus Dakkon again, which is pretty valuable, I think. Gain 6 life. I think this is a good block. I'm not 100% sure. Well, Cryptic Command makes me like pretty miserable that I made this block, I guess. What am I minusing on? Esper Sentinel, probably. Yeah, I mean, this is step 1. And then we can go like equip Sword of Fire Ice and Snap Path. Just hold up Snap Path. Oh, I guess we can actually go... We can attack here. We're at 32 life. Attacking seems fine. If they double block, we blow it out with the Snap Path. Or... Yeah, just... Yeah, we get to... Yeah. They have no cards in their hand. This has been an awesome game. I really thought we had no chance to win, but then we top decked the Sword of Fire Ice. My opponent just has 4 Imperial Recruiters. Everything that these guys have recruited, they're all now dead. And this guy's just left smiling. You want to come join the humans deck? They're just all exiled or dead now. Oh man. Scumbags. Sex 3 Canopy lands. It's also pretty nutty. I guess I don't need to equip. Just attack. At least deal the damage to... Well... Yeah, just deal the damage to them, because that'd be just lethal next turn. They probably have a 3-drop, right? No 3-drop. So should I steal the vial now? Okay, let me they still control this trigger, but I think I kind of like the idea of stealing this vial and making it to where they can't get too tricky on me. And then just tap their team end of turn, kill them. Yeah, crazy game. Really thought we were super dead. We still have to play. This matchup is still really bad though, and we still have game 3. And we're on the draw for game 3. Or just bounce Aether Vial, tap creatures into turn. Yeah. It's also an option, of course. We play the second Shark over the second Jace on the draw, I guess. Yeah, Esper Sentinel's been pretty good. I've been liking Esper Sentinel. How can I get some of these out, actually? Is this better? I think Counterspell is just terrible on the draw, especially. I mean, these cards are also not very good, but they're probably better than Counterspell, at least. I didn't play in the challenge today. I just wanted to sleep in a bit, stream a short stream today, and then maybe record for Channel Fireball. We can't keep this on the draw, unfortunately. Can keep this one. Let's put back the Vindicate, I think. Could maybe have a put back second Watery Grave. Rustic Buddy. Oh, champ. Could you add the Domain Zoo deck from yesterday's Stream Decker? Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I ended up going 4-1 with it. You know, other people have been working on it too. I might not have tagged it MH2. There we go. I need to get better about this. I've got a few decks I haven't tagged. Just trying to keep them all together. We drew the Batterskull. So I guess we get Fire Ice here, right? It's so nice that I just have functioning, good, smooth, consistent internet now. It just everything is working, and it's obviously a pain that I had to buy a 5G hotspot for this to work, but it's working. Things seem to be fine. Alright, that's in the Stream Decker now. Yeah, knock on wood, but I'm feeling okay. Feeling okay. I should take the opportunity to advertise CFB in my upcoming video opportunity in chat. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I don't like the super cheesy reads, and I'm also not 100% definitely gonna play this deck for the video. But I agree I should be a bit better about reads and stuff. I think I'll get the Kaldra over the sword. I'm not sure. I've been liking Prismatic Ending. I think it's pretty good. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have an answer to this. Yeah, I think the 5G hop slot's going to end up being a good fix. You're kidding, gotcha. I mean, it's definitely is true that I probably could be a bit better about, you know, like the very formulaic bullshit that you have to do as a content creator. But I also kind of hate, you know, like checking off on the list. All right, remember that you can like and follow and Twitter and YouTube and CFB. You know, of course I'll be plugging CFB, but I try to, you know, be a bit more genuine than just like feeling like I'm checking off lists on a box, you know. Checking off boxes on a list. Would be nice to have a pro white sword. Yeah, just like not that often you feel like you want the pro white sword, and Although I do like the new green-white sword, and if you're already an ephemerate deck. It took my Dakkon. It's rude. Take 6, down to 9. Big draw step. Like, actually, not that big a draw step, actually. Yeah, just like pretty clear turn of hold up Batterskull, right? You probably have Dismember. Well, there's not much we can do about it. Seems like they're just gonna fly over the Batterskull. I guess they can also attack. They can attack with the Champ. If they attack with Champ, we can Violent Kaldra, though. Block the champion. Oh, Thalia's Lieutenant. But they must have a Mantis Rider in their hand, too, the way they were tapping there. But this means we're dead next turn to the Freebooters. Okay, so yeah, here's what we can do, I think. Oh, this is 3 toughness now? Oh, no. I was thinking we could kill this with the Sword of Fire Ice trigger, then Path. I mean, I'm just going to Kaldra block the champ. If they have Dismember, we also definitely lose, of course. I think we need a top decker removal spell or something. Yeah, I think if we top deck a removal spell, assuming that they do have the Mantis Rider, and we didn't top deck, but assuming they have the Mantis Rider, we can get out of this. So I guess what we need to do here is the only way we can play around Mantis Rider is go Stoneforge Mystic, put in Fire Ice, equip, kill the Skyclave Apparition with the trigger. They can't. We have Trample, so we definitely get the trigger. And then if we draw Path to Exile, oh no, we still die. We still die to Mantis Rider. But I mean, if we draw Path, we don't die to the board. Okay. Tough matchup, I think. Close match. Oh, they have Territory on Spirit. That's why they couldn't cast the Rider. I totally missed that. So maybe we just don't fetch there. Maybe if we don't fetch, we win. Actually, tough game. Right, on the play, easy keep. All of our fetch lands are the same in this deck. No Godless Shrine, no basic plains, no basic swamp. Clock gifting a sub to Exit Dose. Thanks, buddy. Rogren Triumph. With the Batterskull in hand, I'd probably get Fire Ice, right? Could still just get the Kaldra. Kaldra is pretty good if my opponent plays a turn 2 Wrenn and 6. Yeah, I think Kaldra plays around Wrenn and 6, so let's do that. Yeah, we played a blue-red Ragavan deck. I want to play Jund Ragavan tomorrow. I want to play Jund Ragavan tomorrow on stream, but it just kind of depends if I can get the cards. Demand is just so high that like Mana Traders is having a hard time. Rogren Triumph, Opts, bottom. Concede! Woo! I don't know what the heck's going on. The idea is that like the living, yeah, we're trying it out, but Living End and Crashing Footfalls are both kind of popular, so Test of Talent seems like a good sideboard option to try against them. But I think I may just want to play like 1, maybe 0. Well, I'm probably gonna want these. Probably want the Esper Sentinels, and then I think I'll just bring in like the Vindicates. Just bring in the Vindicates. Maybe I want the Fire Ice over the Batterskull in the blind, or against like that kind of deck. Kaldra seems a bit better, especially if they conceded to it. Yeah, let's try this. What do you think of Nyx? No, Test of Talent's just like, not only does it counter the spell, it means that the rest of their deck can't go off after that. I would much rather play Test of Talents. Although Nyx, of course, is nice. They can counter like their Force of Negation. Just too narrow, I think. This hand is great. This hand. I think Dovin's Veto is playable for Counterspell matchups. I'm really low on Dovin's Veto because of how good Force of Negation is. Like, you already have a bunch of main deck negates, so I tend to not want Dovin's Veto because I already have so many like negate effects that I would rather play different counterspells. Like I would play the 4th Force of Negation before I played any copies of Dovin's Veto, and I don't usually want the full 4 Force. Have I run into Merfolk? I don't think so. Oh no, I did once when I was playing the blue-red Ragavan deck, and I think they beat me. Is that Green Truth playable yet? No, but I'll message you when it is. I think it's almost there. Think this format is better or worse because Force of Negation exists? Dude, they didn't crack their fetch land. They actually, they just didn't crack their fetch here. 1 mana, put a land into play, draw a card, opponent discards a card. That's just broken. Harold, 6 months. Thanks for your resub. Appreciate you, buddy. How did I do with the red-blue deck? I think we were 7-3 with it, maybe. Can't remember if we played a 3rd league, but I remember we doing well with it. Doing well. Yeah, drawing that, I'm gonna play the 2nd Sentinel. Sentinel's great. I think our opponent's just playing Jeskai control. And they must have just like not hit their 2nd land and wanted to concede for info. How real is the Grief plus Ephemerate strategy? I've played against it a couple times. It doesn't seem that good. Whenever I try to build it, it really feels like there's almost enough support for that deck. But it kind of feels like they foretell a card. It feels like every time I build that deck, it just ends up feeling a bit underpowered. And I don't really foresee that changing, I guess. Just like you need, oh my gosh, what a draw. You need Ephemerate to be a good card in your deck beyond just when you have Grief on turn 1. And you also need to have a density of black cards to pitch for Grief. And there like really aren't why aren't they fetch, opponent fetch. Fetch, opponent fetch. There really aren't like a good density of black ETB creatures. Like Sculler is passable. Sculler also is kind of a bad card. There's like Bone Shredder, Callous Blood Mage, but there's just not like a super high density of playable black ETB cards, which is again what the deck kind of needs to work. Yeah, they can fetch in response to Sentinel Trigger, but they just aren't. Dude, the Sentinel is so good in these matchups. It's crazy how good Sentinel is. Why no Lingering Souls? I think Lingering Souls is a little underpowered at the moment, but we also have a ton of 3-drops. We have 4 Archmage's Charm, which are great. 2 Dakkons. We have a main deck Vindicate, which I think is good, but also still kind of trying that one out. Lingering Souls, I just don't think makes the cut. I think I want to shuffle the Stoneforge now that I, of course haven't hit a land here. They've just given up, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we just get Feast of Famine, and I'll probably block Stoneforge on Snapcaster. But I would say that Grief, at least, I think Grief is like good in Legacy and Vintage, like Vengevine decks, maybe in modern Vengevine decks. It's good in Living End, probably. But as far as like the Grief Ephemerate decks goes, I feel like that was like certainly the most hyped, the most overhyped deck coming into MH2. Dakkon's been good. I've been liking Dakkon a lot. I kind of want to play 3. I feel like 2 is probably the better number, but I've been pretty impressed. I'm going to counter their Behold the Multiverse, I think. Predator, Dakkon, or Esper Sentinel? Well, I'm playing both in the deck, so... And I would... Both, I guess? If you have to choose one, I can't make that choice for you. It's a path you must walk by yourself. What do you think about Enchantress? I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen a list that's like really wowed me yet. It probably has a lot, like, you know, Solitary Confinement. It's a really polarizing card where it does just like slam dunk beat a decent amount of decks, but it also does nothing against like control and a lot of big mana strategies. Just like straight up does nothing against a lot of the decks. So very polarizing deck. Maybe like a good metagame call if you feel like you just really understand what decks Enchantress beats. I could certainly see that being the case. But at the time of making this comment, it doesn't seem clear to me exactly what Enchantress's role in the metagame is going to be. But it might have one, you know. Does Modern Enchantress have something like Cloud of Fairies? I don't think so. Well, the card Cloud of Fairies is not legal, unfortunately. I think we can let this resolve and then just put in Snapcaster, hit them with Feast and Famine. What do you think of Blue, White, and Esper control? I think that Esper is good. I have been looking at these Brainstone decks. I really want to try them out. I haven't yet. You know, I've got a few different ideas of directions to go, of course, but it's also like not clear to me. I think that Esper is probably better than like the blue-white Brainstone decks. But I would love to be wrong because Brainstone's cool. I like this deck a lot too. I've been like pretty impressed with Esper so far. Esper Stoneblade. Has humans look decent? That was our loss this league. It seems like it's got a good matchup against us. Both Esper Sentinel and Imperial Recruiter and also a Sanctum Prelate also seem like all really good upgrades for the deck. We can keep this in the blind on the play. All the people asking about Merfolk. Tide Shaper. Well, we got plenty of islands. Oh, but they're just casting it as a 1/1. Wow. Kind of surprised to see that. No Cavern of Souls, please. Oh, also, well, I've got people here. I forgot. Me and Jim are rescheduling for Mog Monday. Apparently, Conspicuous Snoop is bugged, so it's like a bad time to do a modern Mog Monday. So we're gonna try to do next week if they fix it. But for those of you looking forward, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. Wait, this gets +1 as long as an opponent. Oh, that's good against me. So I guess I can steal this and just have it be a 2/2. Just hold this up for now. It's probably this to draw, right? How do I like Domain Zoo? I 4-1 with the deck yesterday. I obviously have like a very small sample size to work with as far as evaluating the deck, but it seems playable, maybe even good. Oh, I should have done this before attacks, because there's that 2/2 Merfolk that bounces a tapped creature. That would really get me here. When your Archmage charm a creature during combat, do you get to block said creature same combat? You have to steal it. If it's Vigilance, you can steal it in combat, then block very easily. And you can't. But usually you have to steal it before it attacks, because if it's tapped, it stays tapped. I think you can't block with it if it's tapped. Alright, I think we go... We know they have a Lord, so Jace is just not surviving no matter what we do. I might just Jace Brainstorm anyways. I feel like this is more mana efficient than casting the removal spells. I can find Stoneforge Mystic. There we go. I don't think I really want Esper Sentinel though, so I think that's going to be the card I end up shuffling away next turn. So next turn we can go Stoneforge Mystic, get Sword of Fire Ice, Prismatic Ending, Tide Shaper. Then next turn, Stoneforge Mystic, of course. Have you ever stolen an untapped creature in combat for a big blowout? Yeah, it happens a lot with the Germ token that Batterskull is equipped to, of course. I guess with Prismatic Ending, the Lord of Atlantis, it doesn't... Yeah, we can still do everything. Or cast the Stoneforge Mystic, too. It's kind of bad if they Spell Pierce me and I can't play Stoneforge, though. But then I can just path this turn cycle. Is run afoul for Hammer Time. I don't know what card you're talking about, I guess. What card is run afoul? Target opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. I'm confused. Oh, right, the Fire Ice is sideboard. Do I want Feast and Famine or just Kaldra? I think I want the Kaldra. Trazrit, thanks for your 8 months. Prime Sucks should just resub. How dare you say that about Twitch Prime? Twitch Prime, which you can subscribe to the channel for free if you have an Amazon Prime account. Oh, about Dom's board, I see. Alright, Merfolk Reejerey, reveal to the hub. A land would be great to just be able to go Path Reejerey, cast Batterskull. I think my opponent might have another Spell Pierce just the way they've been playing. I don't know that I can play around another Spell Pierce. We'll see. Okay, well this turn cycle I'm going to go Upkeep, Path their Reejerey, and then maybe just tap draw if this resolves. I feel like we maybe just have a bad matchup against tribal decks, right? Lost to humans. I feel like we've got a bad matchup here too. They do have a Spell Pierce, but if they don't have a Lord, we can play Batterskull and stabilize maybe. But I guess maybe asking for Merfolk to not have a Lord is asking too much. 2 main deck Spell Pierces. So let's bring in the Feast and for the Fire Ice, the Teferi Time Ravelers, cut the Esper Sentinels, bring in the third Path, cut the Force of Negations, probably for the Vindicates, which are not super efficient, but they're better than the Forces. Probably want Subtleties too over Counterspell. Yeah, just against the Vile Cavern decks, just Counterspells are so bad. Doesn't Shaper Island Walk? I don't think it naturally has Island Walk. I think it needs to be given it. Against +1/+1 if your opponent has an island. I think the Rishon and Port one naturally has Island Walk. Hey Trezreth. How's Esper Sentinel? I've liked it. Although like we have cited it out against humans and Merfolk now, but I feel like it's a good main deck card. Just like totally destroys some people. I don't like this hand very much. Let's mulligan. I really want a Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, let's try this hand, and then we can maybe like Subtlety and like Fire Ice equip the Subtlety. Was able to get some more info about the internet situation. Yeah, I was, and we're now using I understand why Spectrum wasn't working now. Mostly because the summary is that their service sucks and they should feel bad. But I was able to find a solution in getting a T-Mobile 5G hotspot that I'm using. Harry, you're carrying the category. Thanks for the resubscription, buddy. GG's the other day. Good to see you in chat. Sentinel doesn't belong in this deck in your opinion? I think it's good, but it's also like... I hope you're not just saying that because we're like playing against Merfolk and then humans, and you're like, well, it's very clearly not that good a card. You're siding it out against Merfolk and humans. But if you have other reasons, then I'd love to hear them. Well, Second Lord's pretty bad for us. How's Prismatic Ending? Good, best removal, middling, and worse than Path. It's somewhere in the middle. I think it's good. I feel like it's maybe a better main deck card than Path, since it's like surprisingly live against like Amulet and Tron, you know? Gets a lot of cards. I would love for my opponent to play a Merfolk here for me to Subtlety. I would love for Subtlety to do something ever. Well, we'll take it. Or try to. Yeah, maybe I'm just completely off this card. I don't know. Maybe we could play Plague Engineer. Is Plague Engineer good at the moment? Main phase the Trickster? Why? With the Sword of Fire Ice in play? Why would you main phase this? Am I about to find out? Dismember? Oh man. Well, just dead if we Batterskull. They have no cards in their hand though, so if we they hit us down to they have to brick pretty hard, but if they hit us down to 5, then we play this and we can block the Lord of Atlantis, because this needs a second Lord to have Island Walk. So they do have to brick pretty hard. So like no Counterspell, no creature this turn, which is certainly asking a lot. Yeah, but this turn they could draw a non Merfolk Trickster creature and we could still survive. Or obviously not another non Lord of Atlantis Master of the Pearl Trident creature. Or Dismember. 5 mana for Adept. So their draws were land Adept. This definitely does not beat us. Now we're just ahead. Close game. Wouldn't a Lord kill me no matter what? Oh yeah, any Lord, sure. There, almost like so many cards kill us. Yeah, yes. I can sit here and list all of them if you like. Since when am I sponsored by CFB? Since like last Wednesday. Really excited about it. I think I'm going to Dakkon minus here. Maybe I should exile the Adept because of Glasspool Mimic. Wouldn't Prismatic Ending be crazy at instant? Yeah, Sam Black was saying that it was like the best removal spell ever at instant speed. Oh, there's the god. Ward 1. Doesn't seem that good here, huh? So the god is not indestructible. Just Vindicate it. Hold up path. This is I mean, you still have game 3 to play. I feel like there are probably some hands I can keep that don't have Stoneforge Mystic, but Stoneforge Mystic definitely feels like the most important card. How's Kaldra been? I mean, it's been good. It's been good. I would definitely recommend playing it in all your Stoneforge Mystic decks, but I don't think it like breaks the archetype or anything. Done with monkeys? No, we're not done with anything. We're still just getting a sample of the metagame, but we're never done on this channel. We're never ever done with something. We're always trying to look to the next thing, you know. Always trying to learn things from the brews. You know, Ragavan's definitely good. We're gonna try it in a lot of different shells, but even if we don't play deck for a long time, I don't think I'm ever permanently done with it. Yeah, so I'm not playing any Fatal Pushes because I'm trying to make the mana really good. If you play pushes, then all of a sudden you need black on turn 1, which makes things a lot more tense. And like also with Prismatic Ending, I think that this is a hand without Stoneforge Mystic that I think we should keep. Prismatic Ending just like makes it to where you don't need Fatal Push as much, I think. And then so we're a blue-white deck splashing black is how I've built the mana base now. And so no Fatal Pushes makes that a lot easier. No, I don't think any monkey business today. Maybe tomorrow. This is going to be a bit of a shorter stream today. I usually don't stream on Sundays, but just kind of felt like it today. Can't Fatal Push an Aether Vial. Do I play against Death Shadow decks? If so, what do I think about them? I haven't played against many Death Shadow decks. I've played against some Grixis ones that look pretty good with like a Dragon Rage Channeler. I think that those decks are fine. They have an Unsettled Mariner. That card's pretty good. Don't really want to path it, but pretty sure we have to. Would it be good to have a basic plains in case of Blood Moon? Yeah, but it's also really bad to have a basic plains in case you draw. You have 4. This is a 4 Archmage's Charm, 4 Counterspell deck, and so any land that doesn't tap for blue has like a very significant downside, as if of not being able to cast like 8 of your spells. And it's not always gonna hurt you. It's not always gonna let you down. But it comes with a very significant drawback. Should I steal the Dakkon? Kind of like stealing the Dakkon, yeah. Maybe this is better, but the Island Walk is a bit obnoxious, and I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it. I want to playtest the card. Another Adept revealed. Can I see a world where Charm isn't worth warping the mana base? I mean, I think this mana base is good. Like I do think the mana base works. And Charm is really, really good, but yeah, I don't think it's impossible that you always want to build the deck like this. Okay, let me go upkeep, tap their Wanderwine Hub, I think. I'm a little worried about Spell Pierce, like, or more so like them getting to use their mana on Spell Pierce right now. Would it filterly be good with the black? Well, so if we're talking about adding Dam to the deck, you don't need just one filter land to be able to cast Dam. To cast Dam, yes, but to cast both sides of Dam, it's very difficult. You need black, and white. Which I feel like is just a very, very high cost. They revealed Master of the Pearl Trident. So I can either counter this or steal Tide Shaper. Stealing Tide Shaper means I'm taking less damage this turn, so I think it's probably a bit better. If you're warping for Charm, you're probably warping for Cryptic Command too. They're kind of a package deal. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm more so doing it for Charm. In this deck, at least. Yeah, it seems like they changed something about the algorithm for the queue times. So we know our opponent has Master of the Pearl Trident, so I think I'm just attacking for 3 here. And then if they blocked here, I'd probably play Jace. If not, play the Batterskull. Maybe I shouldn't have fetched first, though. Batterskull in the chat. Yeah, we had to wait like 6 minutes earlier. I hope that whatever they did, they fix it. But I think they changed. Someone said that they changed something about the algorithm. Wait, why would they play the Island Walking Lord? It's a bit weird. I mean, I guess I'm going to go Vindicate. Attack with Tide Shaper, Batterskull, and Dakkon them. Live playtesting Rishadan Dakkon. They do have their attack here. Oh wait, this is the symmetrical lord. This lord buffs our merfolk. Are they just dead on board? They're not dead, but we can equip and put them to 1. Yeah, let me go equip onto Dakkon, which has vigilance now, so we can attack, put them to 1, and then just tap their land. That's funny. It's a good play. Yeah, and they also did an attack. That might be why they played Reacher. Yeah, I missed that too until I saw it on my cards. All right, GG. Merfolk too strong. Those Kerbros says that's them. That's not their. That's your other account. Okay, you can trade again. I'm gonna make sure I get, you know, not getting scammed. I think we keep this on 5 cards on the play. Obviously, kind of a loose hand, but I think we keep on 6. Anything about Domain Zero? I only played 1 league with like my take on it. I did go 4-1. Although I did feel like I got pretty lucky. Like the match I played off stream, I played against Titan, and I just felt like my deck was like way too slow to be good against Titan. But I did win. Somehow they just kind of had a non-functional hand game 1, and I drew very well in like game 3. But I don't know. I think the deck has legs. It just seems like it's kind of slow and soft to like Blood Moon, soft to some things. We have a Prismatic Ending for that. Let me actually not force. I think you should be able to cast Dam with it without the kicker with 1 black-white filter land. Well, I don't want to play a black-white filter land in my Archmage's Charm counterspell deck though. That's the thing. It's like I think with this deck, if you want your mana to be good, you can play discard spells, Voidwalker and Dam, or you can play counterspell Archmage's Charm. I'm gonna counter this. Counterspell Archmage's Charm, or you can have sketchy mana but get to play all of the best cards, which is also maybe fine to play sketchy mana and have all the best cards. But those seem to be the options. Those seem to be the options in my mind. Bad mana, but all the cards you want. Good mana, but you don't get to play Dam or discard spells or Fatal Push. Or good mana, and you don't get to play Counterspell Archmage's Charm. Hardcore, thank you for your 2-month resubscription. Appreciate you. Well, this is really bad for us. I think I just have to snap Prismatic Ending this Giver. Do you ever play the Vile Recruiter Ephemerate deck? Not yet. We played it like briefly, but our internet kept crashing. But I'll be playing that this week sometime. Thank you, Core, for the 2 months. So if they have a land, they get to sort of fire ice us. We're in bad shape. This could be like, oh, this is black-white. Yeah, probably dead. Take a draw step or 2. Another Prismatic Ending. Nah. We probably have to Jace into like land path or something. A Solitude, Dakkon. I'm okay. Hardcore. I actually bought 3 Urza Saga like for like 8 tickets or something. They're more than that now. So if I ending this, they equip. So I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to hold up path. It's 50 tickets now. Stonks. Stonks. I only bought 3 though, but that's just like what, a cool $120 or something. Remind me to sell those. For the Titania deck that I O2 dropped with. Stonks. Let's go. Yeah, endurance is so expensive too. Alright, this worked out somewhat. I mean, Urza Saga is just a great card. I might have to hold on to them, though, to play with them. We'll see. Ah, bummer. So I'm drawing Charm. I think I just draw 2 here. If I draw a black source underneath the ending, I can ending the sword, but I did not. Yeah, but Saga's just a crazy card. That card's just very, very good. Yeah, I agree, bros. I think the format's been pretty fun so far. They ignored the Snapcaster, so maybe I can Feast and Famine them. Nope. I'll take a draw step, but we're pretty toast, I think. Yeah. Okay. So again, not a Force of Negation matchup. Counterspell is probably fine, though. Also not an Esper Sentinel matchup. The last league, Esper Sentinel was good in like all of our matches. Not so much here. Okay, I think I'm just like totally off Subtlety. I think the card just kind of sucks. Maybe it'll be good in some metagames, but just at the time of making this comment, man, I just have like not been into Subtlety at all. I will try it in like Bant Ephemerate control. It might be good in Bant Ephemerate. That's gonna be our last place we try it before we completely sign off on not liking the card, I guess. I've been liking Dakkon a lot. I think Dakkon's good. I think we need Batterskull. No, we're gonna play Solitude too. I've not played with Solitude yet. We might do that tomorrow. Might do that Tuesday. Tune in for Solitude Tuesdays. What my experience with Dakkon? I've really liked Dakkon. Dakkon, like, you know, Dakkon is on turn 3. You would usually like to plus it, but every turn after turn 3, it comes down, it minuses and exiles your opponent's creature and like stays in play. And like in the late game, it has so much loyalty. And the ultimate is also relevant in this deck, and it's not really relevant in any other deck. I like the card a lot. Yeah. Subtlety is probably good in like specific metagames in the side, but just not really where you want to be right now, I think. Yeah, the art is also great, of course. But with a hard decision here, it seems. They take the Prismatic Ending? I was not expecting that to be the choice. I mean, I guess it's like the only cheap spell in my hand. Yeah, I haven't played with Asmina, the crazy card yet. But I watched Doomwake play some. Deck looks really good. The Mugak deck. Is it time for Blight Beetle? Blight Beetle doesn't stop Urza Saga, does it? It's just creatures it stops, I thought. So my opponent has Path or Push. Or Disenchant. I mean, they know I have the Batterskull, so I mean, I don't really feel like this is a bluff. The deck has moved way past cows. I thought the cows were still in that deck. Let's use Archmage's Charm on this, and then if we draw a land, we can go Counterspell plus Batterskull next turn, ideally. It's now Food Gak. Yeah, but it plays the moo. It plays the cow. It plays the moo. It plays the cow, right? With Cat Oven. Well, I saw that version too. Is it better? Definitely better than the other version. No more cows. Okay, sad. Sad. Cut cow for copter. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they have to have Path, I think, here, or maybe like Disenchant. 5 with Murktide Phoenix doesn't look good. Match 5 against Spirits. Yeah, that seems like a bad matchup. But it's cool. Yeah, I've been looking at building that deck too. Regent seems like it fits really well in that shell. But Regent is also just, you know, good. So if they target their lands, we can probably infer Disenchant. So it's Path. Let's just get the Germ token Path. That's like super fine. Surely if they had pushed, they would have pushed my Stoneforge last turn. Scotty, are you playing the new like Rebound Rummage, right? Is that card good? Because I feel like that's like the main card that breathes life back into the archetype. Gonna do this now so that I guess it could be Ephemerate. I'm gonna do this now so that I can attack with the Stoneforge. It felt good a couple times, so it felt awful. The Rummage. Weird game. Maybe it was Ephemerate the whole time, and they were planning on ephemerating the Sculler in response to the Stoneforge activation to get the skull. It's kind of weird. Do you want to list for the Cat Oven? I saw Doomake playing it earlier. You could post it. I'll take another look though. Yeah, might be talking about a different version. At least I don't think I'm gonna play it probably, but I at least want to know what they're doing. So if I play against it, I can sideboard well maybe. Man, just not being on like the red discard spell seems worse to me too, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Like no, I mean Hollow One also seems so good to me too. I could be wrong, but Hollow One also seemed like it was so good in this deck. That moving towards Daredevil, I mean maybe this deck is like way more resilient is the idea. I like the look of it though. The Yavimaya is kind of funny to cast Feasting Troll King, maybe. Oh, it's good with the Urza Saga too. It's cool. I think it's a cool deck, for sure. Just super grinds. I feel like I prefer the Hollow One version, but I could be wrong. Anytime I want an interactive deck that's 3 or more colors, I want an explosive this side or 2. Explosives might be good. In fact, like we right now have Test of Talents in our sideboard, and Test of Talents is good against the Rhinos deck, but it's also good against Living End. But if we play explosives, all of a sudden we have more cards for these creature matchups, and we have more cards for the Rhinos matchup too. So maybe that's something we should want to do. I think I could just maybe let this go. Hi, Esther.
Hi. Is that the hotspot?
Yep.
I thought you said you had 2.
I got 1, but I have 2 SIM cards.
Oh, okay.
Get a Batterskull. Curious what Spike will look like with the new hairdo. We'll see. Esther, did you get the hair dye?
No.
You want to pick it up when we go out to eat? Yeah. Okay. So we'll see if I have pink hair tomorrow or not. What does my opponent have? Ephemerate? They do. Jeez. Blowout City. Still no black mana too. It's been pretty rough this game. I think I'm just going to have to go Prismatic Ending on the Stoneforge Mystic to strand the Batterskull in their hand, play the tapped Fountain and pass. And then they don't really have a good target for their Ephemerate. I guess they can Ephemerate one of my lands. I don't have Counterspell up actually. So maybe I should have shocked. But also if they do that, they're not attacking with the Wisp. So I feel like they might just not Ephemerate. Didn't want to shock it in so you could return the skull. Maybe that was a good option as well. Probably was better to do that. I think it's likely that we get to Counterspell. Then it's Batterskull, 2 unknowns. They're just going to go to combat first, so I, probably no sword this turn. Ideally, they can't double spell. They're going to Yorion in hand. Wow. It's been such an awkward draw this match. Okay, there's black mana. So I think we put back... Do they have Batterskull? I mean, how much does Batterskull matter here? Their Batterskull probably doesn't matter that much. We can maybe just keep the Vindicate. Yeah, what if we put back Counterspell? No, we need to keep a path this turn so that we can just deal with the Flicker Wisp. So we put back Counterspell Prismatic Ending, I think, because we're not going to cast the Counterspell. We're going to cast the path. Or maybe I should put back the second black card. We could put back either Dakkon or Vindicate. I'll put back the Vindicate. Vindicate, Prismatic End. And then maybe just not shuffle. We'll see if we want to just draw the Prismatic End. Just James, 16 months. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate you. Glad I could be here for this Counterspell saga. Me too, dude. Okay, Vanishing Verse. I'm not going to counter that because it's just dying anyways. I mean, they basically just lightning bolted me. But now I can maybe just like counter their Batterskull or something. Untap, go like Dakkon minus on Flicker Wisp, play Stoneforge. That total is kind of low though. We'll be okay. We will never die. How did the earlier league end? We went 4-1. Can't remember what our loss was to actually. They could maybe Field of Ruin me off black mana though. Yeah, I know. Esper Triumph would be so nice. Dream at night of an Esper Triumph. But there are some dreams that cannot be, and there are some storms we cannot weather. Yeah, we're on 5G now, baby. We're in the future. In the future. Dakkon is so loyal. So loyal. So we can present lethal with Kaldra and Batterskull equip. Kaldra. You can also like, I guess Dakkon isn't. Oh, we actually could have gone. That wouldn't be the line, but we could have gone Stoneforge Mystic for Kaldra and Dakkon Kaldra into play. How much better is Prismatic Ending in this deck than Eliminate? It's better. Prismatic Ending is good. It answers Aether Vial. It answers Expedition Map. It answers Amulet of Vigor. It answers Wrenn and 6. It answers Chalice of the Void. It answers like a ton of stuff really efficiently for 1 and 2 mana. I think it answers like some things okay for 3 mana. We're gonna play the Goblin Bombardment or Euless with Zombies. Well, at some point this next week we'll play Zombie Bombardment and then some Goblins deck too. I'm just gonna take 2, I think. We have Batterskull and then 3 unknowns. They're dead, right? Yeah, they're dead. Alright, going to game 3, but not right now. My opponent, I mean, they're dead on board. They know about the Kaldra, but they maybe have not seen anybody. Or maybe I miscounted, but... Yo, Kaldra, equip the Batterskull in the same turn. Kaldra's great. Kind of can't believe people said this card wasn't good enough for Stoneblade decks. We haven't seen Grief out of our opponent. It obviously could be there, but we haven't seen it. Alright, I think I'm keeping this plan for game 3. I kind of want the 4th Prismatic Ending in the sideboard. I don't know. Really liking this card. 3 feels like a good main deck number. So Esper Sentinel was really good in the first league. This league we've played against humans, merfolk, and then now taxes, which are all, of course, bad Esper Sentinel matchups, but I think it's still a good card to main deck, especially because it gives you that density of creatures that you need in a Stoneblade deck. We did play the Dimir Reanimator deck. We went 3-2. I'm going to revisit it. I think I want a light white splash for at least Unburial Rites as a Entomb target. Man, I can't believe people said Kaldra would be good. The card's so bad. Yeah, I consider playing Maul of the Skyclays, but I think it's worse than our other equipment. I also don't agree that Kaldra is worse than Batterskull. It's just different. It's like way better if you need to be aggressive in the matchup. It's way better if your opponent has, you know, Fatal Push. Or maybe, you know, once the equipment's in play. Better against Kolaghan's Command, Prismatic Command. It's just different. Like, it's a good design too. Like, it doesn't completely push Counterspell or Batterskull out of the format. I probably should be trying to steal these vials, right? I think so. Should I Vindicate a vial? Probably not. Vindicate a vial. Stealing the vial is actually pretty bad against Flicker Wisp specifically.
I have a question. Why do you have this part of chat popping up when you already have chat on?
Well, it's not for me, it's for them.
In case they don't have chat popped up?
Yeah, like if you want to watch it on the screen, you can like full screen it and still see the chat.
Oh, okay. It's just a major delay. That's
Yeah, my opponent actually cited out their Flicker Wisps, I've decided. This Culture good for Tron. It's probably a fine Karn the Great creator target. I actually have insider info. I'm getting it live right now that my opponent cited out their Flicker Wisps. And I agree that sounds not only unlikely but just wrong for them to have done it, but it's just the information I'm getting.
Hi guys, I'm just here.
So I'm gonna leave the vial on 2, of course. I mean, seems like their vial is not doing so much at the moment. So I think I'm gonna be just content enough to Vindicate the Scholar and hold up the path. They have Ephemerate. I think that they had Ephemerate, and then they're like, if I Ephemerate my Scholar, then I get the path back, and then I can path the Scholar. I feel like I probably would. Maybe I would have Ephemerated. I don't know. I could maybe my read's wrong because maybe they should have cast the Ephemerate. I'm not sure. They did like have a pause, like they had something. Just having a hard time getting a read, I guess. We might not have a black mana. Elite Spellbinder. Let's just find a path. Well, I guess if they just hardcast Yorion. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I kind of didn't think they'd had it because maybe they would have done it the other turn, but we've been had. Spellbinder destroying us here. Jeez. There's Yorion mystery card. They Field of Ruin me off black. I do have a couple Drowned Catacombs, but those are my only 2 fetchable black sources. Draw any land we can charm at least. Snapcaster for path. We can also charm. We can violin the Snapcaster and cast the Sword of Feast and Famine. And we'll do it. So we could do it now to play around Flicker Wisp. I don't think my opponent has Flicker Wisp. I think it's better to do it in response to the rebound on the Spellbinder to play around another Ephemerate. And then the sort of Feast and Famine, if we could get the untap trigger, it can like let us cycle these charms that are exiled to the Spellbinder. This was like a crazy good draw. The Yorion is like scary though, of course. I could maybe just not path the Spellbinder. No, I think I'll path the Spellbinder. Alright, so then it's Yorion mystery card, and then they're drawing a new card. Just the 4/5 flyer is a like pretty big problem, but you know, we'll see what other cards they have. Like that is an issue as well. They're gonna get my charm, yeah. So Stoneforge Mystic might be the best draw. Another Snapcaster might be nice. That's not great. I mean, I just could exile their Vial. You have another 3-drop. Isn't it better for them to exile this? I guess they just don't know how that interaction works. But this goes back under their control. But we're pretty dead here, I think. Yeah, especially with the Yorion. We don't have, like, outs. They might be thinking about not overcommitting into a verdict, and if they so if they don't play Yorion here, they could get us. But then, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and just take the L, go to the next match. I do think that these Aether Vial matchups are not that good. We played against 3 of them this league. We played against humans, merfolk, and taxes. It does seem like this is an area we struggle in. So I think I'm going to try to adjust the deck a bit to compensate a bit. Really like Dakkon. Easy keep. But yeah. Maybe with like an Arcanist deck that doesn't play blue, yeah. But just the card is playable. I think the card is playable, but it's not like every green deck wants to play it, and it's not like you should splash green for it. In my opinion. What's the most loyalty I've had played Dakkon? Probably 8, I think. Yeah. Alright, so fetch first before it gets exiled to the Voidwalker, but probably not that relevant. Really need to draw land. What was the record Tribal Flames deck? 4-1. Have we played against any Grief Ephemerate decks today? I've played against it once total. But I'm not really of the opinion that those decks are good. Yeah, no third land's pretty sad. Their deck's cool. Black-White Lurrus, Sentinel, Voidwalker. No Stoneforge Mystic, though, if they're playing Lurrus. Only 1 card in their hand. Their deck looks good. Just need to rip the land. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it looks good against a deck that, like, have 2-lander, really needs to draw a land, but the first 3 draws haven't. Yeah, maybe their deck just looks good against the deck that stumbles. I don't know. I like the look of it so far, though. All right. Right on time, Esper Sentinel. Sentinel seems good though. Gets the baubles, thought seizes, vindicates. Probably leave them in for the sideboard game. No, Vindicate became legal with Horizons 2. If they attack with Esper Sentinel, are we blocking? I think yes. I also don't think that they're going to attack though. I think that's they have more mana. They should realize their Sentinel's better than ours. Okay, just 6 looks at a land. Didn't draw one. Let's just go to the next game. So I want the Teferis, I think. Should I cut? I mean, Kaldra Compleat seems really good against the black-white deck. Should I bring in another? Let's bring in the Sharks. Cut the Forces. And then I don't feel like Path is that good against any of their creatures. So I'm going to try to lead on like Prismatic Ending and maybe Vindicate. And Dakkon as removal. Vindicate's also, you know, a bit better on the play maybe. Although their curve's kind of low, so maybe I'm not killing their lands. Just do this maybe. Maybe this is good. Looks fine. No, I don't really like opt to these kind of decks. I'm going to Stoneforge Mystic over Prismatic Ending here. I think I'm getting Kaldra. Is it reasonable to play Esper Sentinel in an affinity build? Yeah, I do. I do think so, but maybe more so in like an Urza deck. Tap Esper Sentinel for mana. This looks like Collective Brutality. That would be crazy good. Can my Stoneforge take my ending? Golly. We dead, I guess. We could draw a land, make a 1/1 Shark. Or we could just repeat history. Why do you keep 2 landers? This hand was definitely a keep. The other hand was definitely a keep too. You mulligan every 2 land hand? Especially if that other hand was on the draw. And a 24 land deck, 2 lands on the draw, you're very likely to hit the 3rd land. Yeah, Vindicate. Kind of looks like it. You don't have cantrips? I don't have cantrips, but I have 24 lands in my deck. I don't think this is a good deck for opt. Or yeah. It's a good block for us, I think. They're gonna lure us in hand. If they do, we get to Jace, but I think they're vindicating. Smallpox. Wow. Discard Kaldra. We can actually get Kaldra back from the graveyard with Dakkon. It's kind of funny. So I guess that explains the Esper Sentinel attack. And another Sentinel. Their deck is so good. Wow, my opponent's deck just looks nuts, right? No, if we play out the sword, they get to draw a card off Esper Sentinel. Seems like not the right play to play it out. Not worth it. I think I'm going to plus this turn, and we go minus and hopefully play a Jace. Yeah, opponent's deck just looks great to me. Really, really like it. So this grows their Turok. If we draw a land, we can go Jace, Teferi minus, Jace minus. Don't really mind so much if they kick the Turok either. Put me down to 7. Seachrome Coast biting us. Yeah, Turok also seems like, of course, that it fills out their curve pretty well. Dude, we cycled Shark Typhoon, it triggers Turok. I think we still do it. We can just jump block this turn. Oh, they also have protection from white, which is miserable for us. Turok, good showing for first time seeing the card. Yeah, Pro White's looking good. Ability looking good. Just kind of love everything that I've seen so far. Oh, they were just dead. They have Brutality. Wow, their deck was so good.